Good afternoon to all, and welcome again to Tell Me Over Coffee. Our guest of today was born in New Delhi, India in 1963. He's my brother of year, because I was born in 63 too, so we are brothers of year. He was barely 2 years old when his family decided to immigrate to England. Despite being advised by his drama teacher to give up his studies due to his shyness as a child, he persevered, pursuing his great desire to become an actor. In 1982, Brady joined the Zip Theatre Company, a professional touring group in Wolverhampton, England, where he honed his skills as a professional actor, and in 1990 moved to Barcelona, Spain, where he has resided into the present day. In 2011, he achieved his BA degree in theater studies from Rose Bruford College of Theater and Performance in Kent, Great Britain, and has also trained acting in camera with Mel Churcher, Sylvia Moon, Nancy Tugnon, and Isaiah, did I say it right? Isaiah, all in Barcelona. Today, he is a multilingual film, television, theater, and voiceover actor. He is native in English and Hindi. Punjabi, is it the same
Punjabi.
thing?
Punjabi.
Okay, it's Punjabi. And fluent in Spanish and Catalan. And since 1990, he has worked on many well-known television series and feature films in Spain. In film, he is known for Anacleto, Vicente Ferrer, Cuatro Estaciones, Fuga de Cerebros, Vida de Familia, Guadalupe, Las Voces de la Noche. Short films such as Hospitalet es feo, tú más, On Time on Mars, Mantis, Before Sunset, El Corazón del Actor, Fuera de Servicio. In theater, he's known for Amnesia de Fuga and so many others in the UK. In TV, he's known for the Netflix series Money Heist, La Casa de Papel, Fugitiva, El Corazón de Océano, Algunas Cosas Tienen Su Porqué, Águila Roja, El Síndrome de Ulises, Mir, Los Serranos, El Comisario y un largo etcétera. Brady Jaskaran, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you very much. Jaskaran with a J. Jaskaran.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jaskaran.
Okay.
Sorry. Don't they call you Jaskaran in Spain?
Well, everyone calls me Brady. Actually, my real name is Jaskaran Kanwal.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've always known as Brady Jaskaran. It was easier.
Okay, so let's start this marvelous interview before I fall asleep because I'm so tired from my shooting last week. Being a child, you already knew that this was your thing, acting. But it's quite curious that your drama teacher suggested you to quit because of your shyness. And I say that it's curious because usually they suggest and recommend shy people to take acting classes. So, how did it all start? Anyone in your family part of the show business?
Not really, although I have an uncle, my father's youngest brother. He used to be, or still is, he's a radio artist and he composes his own songs and in Punjabi folk songs. And he still does work on radio in India somewhere. So I don't know, maybe it's in the blood somewhere that I, sort of diverse to that kind of idea, So yes.
That's cool.
So.
You wanted to say anything else?
No, I was just saying that it must come from the blood of my uncle, sort of following that kind of line. Although my father, my late father, he used to write poetry and write poems and stuff like that in newspapers. And he actually wrote in 4 languages, Urdu, Punjabi, Hindi, and English, but he's got a lot of publications in newspapers and things like that. So I don't know, maybe there was something there,
But you did have an artistic background, but not in acting. But you did have an artistic background. Okay, you've worked in theater, TV, and film. All
Yes.
three are quite different. Which one or ones do you like most and enjoy most, and why?
Well, films, because basically, like a film, I always say that you, especially fiction, you have the role of one person, and that lasts during the time of the film. And when that role dies, you work on a new character. Whereas in a series, you'd have one character during a long period of time. And I did a TV program, a TV series in 2003 to 2004, and I did 87 episodes.
Wow.
And it was called El Cor de la Ciutat. It's a Catalan series in TV3. And of course, you do the same character every day. You work on it every day. And, you know, there are people doing this for 10 years. Great. But I like to diversify and try different things. And, you know, you do one role and you try something different, try something. And you get that through working on films, I believe, you know?
True. Going back to your character in Cor de Ciutat, did you, because when it's a short series, it's not very long, you know, I think it's quite easy not to take on board, you know, things from your character. But after 87, that's a lot. So do you feel you were contaminated by your character in any way?
Not really. I mean, you know, it was a very easy role.
Okay.
You know, I didn't have to like, you know, sort of transform myself into anything. It was just me playing a guy who came from Pakistan, and he was looking for work and settling in Catalonia. So it was not a real big issue, you know. It was just me kind of converting into somebody else, and then me back to normal. Because, you know, it's not like De Niro, who needs 8 months to rub himself off before he goes into another character, you know. So
yeah,
it was an easy role. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
And you shot it in Catalan.
Yes. Well, it started off me doing in Spanish, although the series was Catalan. And during the progress of the role, I started to sort of pick up some Catalan words. Eventually, I would say the first half of the series I did in Spanish, and then it just went into Catalan. And I started doing a lot of my speech lines, in Catalan. And yeah, the director said, you know, it'll work better for you doing it in Catalan. You know? So I was great, you know.
That's cool. That's very cool. You being native in English and Hindi and Punjabi, and fluent in Spanish and Catalan, is there any of these languages that you are more comfortable working in?
Obviously English. You know, this is the language I wouldn't, you know, I mean, you know, a lot of my friends have always said when I do some castings and they help me record the casting or go through the lines, and he said, you work so well when you do it in your own language as when you do it in Spanish or Catalan, because you're kind of more concerned about or worried about the text more than, you know, getting into the role because of the language issue, you know. I've never done anything in Punjabi, but I've never used that language in this field. Although that is my mother tongue, because I speak to my mother in Punjabi, you know. So,
what language do you speak at home?
Well, with my parents or my, say, uncles or aunts, I would speak in Punjabi.
Okay.
My brothers and sisters in English.
Okay.
And because I live here alone, I speak to my friends in Spanish or English or wherever wherever they come, you know. So my son, I speak to my son in English, and he's half kind of Spanish and half, well, he's actually half Indian, a quarter Spanish and a quarter Catalan. So he speaks to his mother Catalan, and to him, well, we speak to each other in English, so there's no problem there, you know.
Does he like what you do? Would he like to be an actor too?
Well, my son's on the other side of the camera. He just finished his studies in film edition and production, so he's really into. We're in the same line. I said, you get the film work, and I'll do the acting. You know, so it's going to work that way. You know.
Does he help you with your auditions?
Yeah, Well, if he's around, I mean, he doesn't live with me, but if he's around, I mean, you know, he sometimes helps me, you know, do my self tapes and things like that.
Yeah.
And he's very good with doing the edition, you know, chopping bits and pieces. And, you know, he did my show reels for me, you know. So, you know, he's quite good at that. So he likes that. And he works out, and he works out cheaper for me because I don't have to pay him.
That's the
Buy him a
point.
beer and he's happy, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
it's cool. I mean, you have it at home, you don't have to pay for it, so it's quite good.
yeah.
Well, until he realizes that he could get very well paid, then he'll just, you know, tell you, hey, chip in something.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I'll set him up somewhere, surely, you know. Yeah, he just finished actually, so
that's cool. It's cool. That's really really cool. Have you ever thought of working in Bollywood?
Yes and no. You know, I mean, I think Bollywood tends to look for, this is a kind of more of I would say a beauty issue. The more beautiful you are, the better roles you get. And you know, I've always noticed this thing that in Bollywood, I mean, they're probably watching me, they're probably criticize me to hell now, yeah. But the people who are kind of a darker skin always get bad roles. I don't know if it's just an issue in India or something like this, and all the good-looking people always get the good roles. I don't know why that is. And you get the baddies, always kind of the, you know, the uglish kind of people, darkish, and you know, what's that about? You know, you think.
But Brady, you are quite handsome, so I don't.
Yeah, I don't have any hair, and that, you know, that's a big issue. Full stop. You know. So you know.
I don't know. I think you could have, you know, you could have some success there. Imagine a Bollywood Punjabi who speaks Spanish or Catalan, and you have to do one of the roles. Only you would do it, so.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'd go for it. I mean, I had a couple of castings and through Spotlight, and you know, I recorded them, and there were obviously, you know, a baddie in prison, and he was getting his boys to attack these guys and stuff like that. You know, I never got the role, but at least I tried for the casting. See, but you know. The other thing is that the films are, you know, I mean, Hindi. I understand Hindi, but I don't actually speak it. But it wouldn't be that difficult to learn. It's a bit like, I would say, a little bit like Spanish. No, sorry, Catalan and Valencian.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a similarity, but it's not 100% the same. You see.
The same.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean,
so,
you never know. I do know that it's been what, about a year, I think, or two, that some Bollywood production had come to Madrid to look out, you know, to scout for locations and see if they could they were going to be shooting something. I don't know. You never know. You could start here and then just go about, and you know, and who knows? Who knows?
Oh yeah, we all, you know, I never say no to anything. Give it a try. If it goes, great. If not, no problem. You know, make the best guy win, as they say. You know, so
true. Do you find it easy to get in and out of your characters?
Yes, yeah.
But do you have a routine or a method?
Well, you know, I mean, I research the character. If it's a historical film, find out who it is, if this person really existed. You know, find as much information as possible.
Okay.
And then what I do is I make some questions and say, okay, what was the person's kind of life as a young child? Maybe how he worked around with his friends, his family, and some of the things you make up. And you ask questions for yourself. You know, make the questions yourself, whether it's true or not. I mean, if it's fiction, and then eventually you kind of work into that and try to do as best as you can of the questions you make yourself, you know. And sometimes it works and sometimes you don't. I mean, I do kind of, you know, I mean, I have a coach as well sometimes, and I was asking, I said, look, I've got this role, can you help me with this? And she will give me some, you know, ideas and support me and trying to work on that role. And you know, the thing is, go in with the intention, and then when you produce it, if you've got the intention inside you, everything else kind of falls into place. And the rest is just learning lines.
Yeah, but it's just we were talking about this with Nicole and Sadi. I think it was last week. The thing is that when we study acting, being it in a drama school for theater or for camera, we are usually taught how to get into a character, but we are not taught how to get out of it. So there are people that really have a hard time after I don't know what so many characters that they don't they come to a point they don't know how to distinguish reality from fiction. And she said she I mean, after all these years that she's been working and her routines and her things, she was thinking of writing sort of like a booklet of how to, when you get in and how to get out every time you work, because that would help. She has many friends all over the place. I mean, everywhere, France, in the UK, especially in the States, who have either gone on drugs or alcohol or even committed suicide. So and I think that is very important. I really don't understand why in schools they don't show you how to get out of the character, because it is very important that you come to a point. That's why I was asking you if you in Corte de Ciutat, if you have not gotten contaminated by your character, because I do know some actors that have been 10 years in the same series doing the same character. At the end you see them in other films and you still do see that wee little bit of that character. So that's why I was asking if it's easier or hard for you to get in and out.
Yeah, but sometimes, it's just their normal habits, and they just bring that normal habit in the character, and which they shouldn't. But sometimes it's something that they do, and they do that normally, whether in one film or another, and it comes out, And I think it's not that difficult. It depends. I suppose it depends on how long the role is. Okay, 87 episodes. You do 2 or 3 days a week, etc. And it was a show that was on every day, and it ran for 10 years. And apparently it was a kind of a copy version, with all the right legalities of EastEnders from London, and they went to BBC and they said, we want to do a show similar to it. We have a pub and things go around it. And the role was easy. Like I said, it was just some guy who came and he couldn't speak the language very well, and he was looking for work, and he got a job in the bar, and people helped him.
Yeah, but Brady, as you say, the role was easy. It was just a normal situation of a normal day in any normal country, right? But imagine that the character you have now, he's a serial killer who has a disturbed mental problem. You have to get into that type of character, right? And you're doing it very well, whether it's for a series or whether it's for film. And then all of a sudden, okay, cut, it's good for today. You have to go home. But you have to get rid of that person before you go home. So how do you have any method or
meditation
any routine to get out of that?
Meditation.
Excuse me? Meditation, right?
Meditation, yeah. Relax. And I use headphones. I use, different binaural kind of tunes. Relax. And you feel chilled out. And when you feel chilled out, that's fine, and
Yeah, because
I'm not
Nicole also mentioned meditation and yoga. That helps her to get out of characters when she needs it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I think that's a good thing that many people should consider before. When they have such a hard character that they have to interpret, I think it's important to know what resources they can use to go home clean, as I would say. We know not how often you go back to India. How often do you go back?
To tell the truth, I was born there in 63, emigrated to England in 64, 65, sorry. And I went back in 73 for 4 months with my mom. We visited all my uncles, cousins, visited around India for 4 months. And then I went back in 2013 to do the film Vicente Ferrer. So it was a long 40-year difference, you know.
Wow.
And I was actually I celebrated my 50th birthday in India. So it was a long time.
How did it feel to work in your country of origins and country of birth, especially with this film Vicente Ferrer, this man who has done so much in India? How did it feel? I mean, I was really a fan of this man because I just thought that everything that he had done, not only for India, but he's done a lot even in Spain, and I just consider that, and it's so good that his wife and family are continuing. How did it feel to work? Firstly, obviously, it was Imanol Arias who was doing Vicente Ferrer, and you worked a lot. You know, you worked a lot.
We worked very close, yeah, in all the scenes practically, yeah.
So
but the thing is that, well, it was, I mean, first it was just, you know, big excitement. Wow, I'm going to go to India to, you know, to do a film, you know. And I did the casting. I went to Madrid to the casting with the Ganga production, the producer. And then, you know, I got the role. Actually, I did two castings, one for Pereira and one was for a governor. The thing is, I was looking for Pereira because Pereira was like 6 weeks, whereas the governor was like 2 days work. I thought, I need Pereira.
Yeah.
And I got the role for Pereira. And so they gave me a few weeks to work on the role. I worked on the text. And what the director said to me, he said to me, this guy, you know, we want very little from him, but you'll give a lot, you know? So hardly anything, hardly any speech, just a little expression, but it's quite a lot. But he said, you'll be in a lot of the scenes, but he's like, you know, less for more kind of thing, you know? And the good thing was about it with Imanol Arias, I mean, he's one great actor. For me, he's probably one of the greatest actors I've seen around Spain. And he's very, very, very supportive. And, you know, he would always say, okay, do this way. Great, you did really well, you know. And if I did something and maybe perhaps the director wasn't too sure about it, he would back me up, said, I told him to do that, so that's fine, you know. So I was really happy working with him. And honestly, he was one of the most supportive people. And also Carlos Canut, he died last year before. He was also very, very, very supportive. And he told me that, you know, he gets into his character in the moment he steps across the line. And then when he goes out the line, he's out. He's been doing this, he was doing theatre for 50, 60 years. So they were all very, very helpful, and, you know, and the other actors too. And we worked really, really well. We enjoyed the stay of 6 months in Anantapur. And Anantapur is really, really poor part of India. That's where his Vicente Ferrer has his foundation.
Yeah.
And but it was great with all the co-workers and the film crew. Brilliant. It was wonderful to work in India.
Because you did shoot at his foundation.
Yeah, but we did there's a lot of locations around. And the last 2 or 3 days we went to Hyderabad, the capital of Andhra Pradesh. And they have film studios. So they have artificial train stations and so on. So we had to do some shootings there. And that was the last few days of the shoot. And we did total of, I think it was 29 days there, I think something like this. And then I headed up to Mumbai and visited around, and I came back to Spain. But it was one real experience to go to a land where I was born and see how, you know, how the people were, and, you know, and people behave, etc.
I assume your family was very, very proud of you.
Yeah, there were. Some of them were very angry that I didn't go and visit them in Punjab. But Anantapur and Punjab is, you know, it's like Spain and Poland, the difference, I think, in distance, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, I had to head back anyway, so.
Did you have to compete with a lot of Indian men to get this, Indian actors to get this role?
No, no, that's the beauty of it. I mean, you know, the thing is about living in Spain and working as an Indian actor. You know, one thing I'm known by a lot of casting directors now, and the other thing is like there are about 3 of us in the whole of Spain,
Wow.
and the advantage I have is that my age is, and I mean, when I say 3, I'm talking about 3 people. I'm not just saying as a general thing.
No,
It's
no, no,
3
I
of
know,
them.
I understand.
I'm older than them. So, you know, there's always that part where, you know, I would get more of a mature role where they would get a younger role, you know. And when I go to castings, they're always there. Hi, how you doing? How you doing? You know, let's who gets a role, you know, sort of thing. But yeah, so the sad thing is that, you know, they don't write enough roles. And
Yeah.
so when they, you know, a lot of the time, if you think with Money Heist, the same producer, the casting director was Eva Yolanda Soran,
Yeah.
and they called me to do a casting for a series called White Lines,
Yeah.
and I went for that. I did a self-tape, sent it to them, then heard nothing of it, and then they just rang directly to my agent and they said, "Is he available to do Money Heist?" So I didn't even actually get a casting for that; I just went directly for the role.
Wow.
And then when I saw White Lines, that specific role wasn't there, and they had eliminated it. So I didn't get it. That's what, because it's eliminated out of the text. So I think so. Yes.
That's cool. Cool. Very, very cool. Um, I know that you have worked as a voiceover actor in a couple of projects. One of them being Martin Scorsese's The Departed.
Yes. Yes, that you can't.
Going back to shyness, do you think that this side of the show business could be a good opportunity for those people who are passionate about acting but are very afraid of camera?
Well, you know, there's
Because sorry, excuse me if I interrupt you, because this is something I do want to mention, and I want it to be very, very clear, and I hope to remember to say it in my Spanish interviews, is that many people don't understand that a person who was doing the voiceover for a film, being it a short film or even television or whatever, that they are actors. It's not, you know, it's not just any person that comes in and just talks. No, these people are actors, because although you are not acting in front of a camera, you are acting behind a mic, giving personality, movement, and voice to all these characters. So please, actors, spectators, a voiceover is an actor. It's a voiceover actor.
of course,
So,
yes, yes.
having said that, do you think that people who are really shy about camera, they don't like being in front of a camera for whatever reason, do you think this could be an opportunity for them to, they could be acting, but no one's seeing them. They're just hearing them.
Well, you know, here's a fine example. There's a TV series. I don't know if it's still on. It's called Icon on Viva. Yeah. And there was one of the guys there. His name is Jose. I think Jose Luis something. And you know, he was a voiceover actor for years and years. And then in his 50s, he got the role in that. And you know, so maybe everyone hopes for a role on screen, and then a lot of people take up what comes on offer. And you know, people are always very scared not to get kind of that sort of typecast and to get stuck in that role, and they can't get out, you know, and they keep getting the same old thing, you know. So it's, you know, you got to move around, and I think you got to accept things when they come up, but also, you know, there are times to refuse things when something else that comes up and you think it might be better, you know, to take up. So I've only done, I don't know, 2 or 3 voiceovers, but you know, I've always worked on screen, a little bit of theatre, except in England when I was working for a theatre company. But yes,
but how's the experience to do The Departed? I mean, Martin Scorsese. I mean, it's just, you know, even if you didn't work with him, but I mean, you did put the voice to the people.
Well, it's strange because the studio called me. They said we're doing the voiceover of The Departed. What's the name in Spanish?
Oh, I can't remember.
Infiltrado. Infiltrado.
Ah, Infiltrado.
Yeah. And so, you know, it was only about 3 minutes part. So, and it's a scene where DiCaprio is having some breakfast, and these couple of mafia guys come in and they're asking this Indian guy for some money, extortionists, and they start a fight with DiCaprio, and they tear up his shop, and I'm the shopkeeper. Well, I was doing the voice of the shopkeeper.
Yeah.
And it's great because there were people who had been watching in Spanish, and they called me on the phone. He said, "Was that your voice?" The people who recognized me, because I'm not the same character, it's my voice. And yeah, you know, and it's great because, you know, I can say, "Hey, you know, I've done a Martin Scorsese film," although it was just my voice, you know.
Well, still, but it's there.
And the great thing is I still receive royalties. So it's always shown somewhere on some channel, on some TV, cinema, aeroplane, hotel, you name it. And also get some royalties from that, which is great.
Yeah, true. It is. Okay, what are your favorite genres as an actor and as a spectator?
In which sorry, what was the question again? What my favorite?
Your favorite genres as an actor, and then as a spectator, because sometimes it can be different, or sometimes not.
When you say genre, the type of films I like.
Talking about, yeah, if you prefer drama, if you prefer horror, or if you dramedia, or.
Well, I go across the board. I mean, you know, I like historical films a lot, and I like thriller. And also, I mean, you know, I'm the other day I was talking to my partner, and I said I was just flicking through Netflix, and I came across Terminator 5. Not her type of film, but you know, I'll watch it because I like that. I like the effects. I like how they do that. You know,
yeah.
So I have quite a broad spectrum of different kinds of films that, you know, I like watching.
That you like,
you know?
watching, but how about as an actor to work in? It's completely different, because for me, for instance, I don't think, I mean, obviously it would be what, Spielberg, and they would pay me a lot of money, that I would say yes, but I don't like zombie films, not even as a spectator. And I just, you know, all this blood thing is just, I don't like it. So I don't think I would do a zombie film. So what type of genre would you not do? Or would you say, okay, I'm just mad about this type, I don't know, comedy or drama or thriller? Or
If it's related to fiction, I would never say no to anything, you know, as long as it's, you know, crossing the line. But if it's fiction, if it has some political connotation, then I would decide whether to do it or not. I mean, for example, I had a TV commercial, and it was to promote electronic cigarettes.
Yeah.
I refuse to do it. I just don't want to do it, because I don't want to promote myself in something that I don't really agree with. Or if it was some political party and they say, "Can you do a propaganda publicity for us?"
No.
If I don't agree with their politics, I wouldn't do it. You know, although I don't really want to, you know, like keeping myself as an actor. I was trying to be neutral.
Yeah.
And not show my political side of it. But as regarding if it's fiction, I don't have a problem with that. You know, I'd be happy to do anything. You know, you know, at the moment, who knows? Maybe, you know, when you become a big time hot star, then you can choose. But at the moment, we're working actors, and we enjoy the work a lot. You know, so yes, yeah.
Okay, I don't know. It's just that I want to pick on you. So, what type of story would you not be willing to shoot?
It's hard to say, because there isn't anything that would, you know, for me it's work and I enjoy it. There's nothing. I could say if there were rats in the scene.
Rats?
Yeah. I couldn't do it. I have this phobia for, if I see a little mouse, I'll be standing on top of a table, you know. I have rodent phobia. I couldn't work. No, I couldn't do it. It would frighten me, you know.
Okay, so we're talking about an animal. Okay, great. Now, how about a story, a background of something that I don't know, whatever.
Sexual?
Well, I mean, whatever. I mean, just tell me. Maybe it's a story. Maybe I don't know. There are people. I mean, actors and actresses that, for instance, if the story has to do with a rape or something like that, they don't want to do it. They don't want to do it because it goes against what they feel, and no, they don't want to do rapings, or they don't want to do, I don't know, abortions, mothers who are going to abort their baby or things like that. I don't know. Is there a particular story it would be too much for you?
I would think if it was something religious, okay, that could have some negative, what do you call it? It would give me something negative in future. I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't do it, because it might cause a political problem, you see. I was years and years and years ago, you know, I was saying to a friend, you know, they could have chosen me to do Gandhi he said, yeah, but he said, you know, you might get negative feedback from people who didn't support Gandhi. I said, yeah, but I'm just acting, or I would just be acting. He said, yeah, but people don't look at it that way. And if you think of the guy who did I forget his name now. He was in Money Heist, and he was the bank manager, and then he has the Arturito, his character was. I'm sure he gets a lot of problems when he walks around the street, because it gave him an unfavorable character.
Yeah, spectators tend to fix you in the character, and exactly, they tend to live it as if it's true, as if this person is you. May I ask you, what religion are you?
Well, tell you the truth, I don't really have a religion.
That makes us two. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a kind of person who believes in energies and frequencies and connecting to the universe and things like that. I don't really, you know, follow religion. I think, well, my personal belief, religion has been written by man, and you know, and that's it. I don't have, and you know, I don't. I think there is, like, you know, the whole universe is connected, and we can use our minds and our energy to connect and achieve things and things like that. That's what I believe in. I don't actually believe in any kind of religion at all. You know.
By the way, I think you couldn't have done Gandhi because you're too big. You're too tall. He wasn't that tall.
Well, no. Well,
you're too tall to be Gandhi.
I don't know how tall Ben Kingsley is.
No, he's not as tall as you. I don't think so. He's not that tall.
I'm 1.80 meters.
No, I don't think Ben Kingsley's that tall. But well, I mean, okay. If I had to compare Ben Kingsley and you, and you know, for Gandhi, I think that Ben was good.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's a great actor. You know, he's been doing that.
I mean, you can always do Gandhi in a short film, but you know, I think that they would go for him even if they did a new Gandhi. And exactly. He's much older now, but I think they would go for him. Okie doke. Okay. What would you say to those that would like to enter this marvelous but unsure acting industry?
Well, first of all, I think that you'd have to really want to do that, you know, because it's a profession that, you know, I mean, I've been doing this since I was a kid. We used to play with my brothers and sisters. My sister's probably online now, yes.
Yeah, she's telling us that Ben Kingsley was 5'8", is 5'8".
All right, what's that? I'm 5'11". So, all right. My sister actually said that 5. So I'm actually 3 centimeters. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, 3 inches. That is 3 inches. Yeah. So yeah. Sorry, what was I saying? Yeah. We used to play when my brothers and sisters. We used to do little games and stories and just like playing, inventing little improvisations. And then when I was 19, I got my first job it was 18. I got my first job as a projectionist in a theater, in a cinema. And we're talking about Kramer versus Kramer and Rocky 2.
Yeah.
That's going back in 81, I think, 1981. And ever since, I've always been connected to that. And I'm fighting for it every day. That's something I want to do. So if anybody who really wants to be an actor, or think of it, that you could really have that passion for it and enjoy it. Yeah, it's a hard, you could maybe never get any work, or you can get loads of work.
True.
And I've been lucky that living in this country, I've had a lot of work. Like I said, there's only three Indian actors, so I'm always, one of them who can get the work. But I'm also teaching English as a foreign language. And sometimes I have no work at all, but I'm always got my classes and I teach English to people. So that's how I survive. So many people think that, okay, you become multimillionaires. Yeah, that's probably like 1% of, the actors. But a lot of them don't get work. And especially for women, if you really want to get into the profession, don't throw the towel in, because what happens is, one of the casting directors told me that she said that a lot of girls, they get into the acting when they're 17, 18, 20, and by 40, they've given up because they get very little work. And ironically, after 40, 50, 60, there aren't any actresses for that age. So they have to find, you're one. You're one. But there was they had to do a film, and they had to use Angela Molina to play a grandmother, make her really old. She's one of the few who is still, that age still around. But a lot of them throwing the towel, thinking that this thing is a joke and it's not going to happen, and they leave the profession.
But because I think that the wrongness of the decision is because the goal they want to reach, right? We've talked about this many times, Brady. For instance, in my case, and I did put it in, I did say it in an interview, and I did put it in my social media. I want to be, I don't want to be famous. I want to be remembered for my acting, for my talent. And I don't want to be rich. I want to be able to live off my job. But if your goal is not that, and you just want to be famous and get paid loads of millions, that's going to be very hard, because you talked about a 1%. I'm talking about, okay, let's talk about a 3% worldwide are millionaires because of their job in acting. But we're talking about 3%. The rest is not that. And it is true that, like I said in another interview, Will Smith said that you don't have to have a plan B, because it takes your attention away and all your energy from your plan A. True, but you do need to have a side work, at least a side work that allows you to be in control of your time and your schedule, because you don't have acting jobs every day.
Exactly.
And you have to live off something. And obviously you don't get paid thousands and thousands of euros when you have a job.
Exactly.
So it is true that, like you said, you have to be very, very passionate. That's one. Two, you have to be very aware that you don't control your career. They do. Because that's how it is. You work when they want to. It's not when you want to. And and as you said, you have to be very, very strong to and willing to go into this roller coaster that's this industry, because one day you're here and another day you're down, and you have to be able to support all that, emotionally speaking, apart from obviously economically speaking. And that us actors, we have to be updated almost monthly with anything, and you have to, for instance, you yourself, what differentiates you from other actors, for instance, Indian actors, you said it, you are 3 Indian actors in Spain, but you are the oldest one. So it gives you more opportunities if they're looking for a 50-year-old Indian or a 50-plus Indian actor, or even not Indian actor because you're going to be speaking Indian. No, because we need an Indian actor for this film, and that's it. So you have to really look into yourself as an actor and all your skills, and try to be different from other ones, because like you said, of my age, we are quite a bit of acting, Spanish acting women here in Spain, but polyglots of 4 languages, we are only 4.
Okay. So languages is an advantage for me, because I got British English, and the other couple of guys, they speak obviously English, but not with they have the accent. I'm not saying that's favorable, but I think I've been also I don't have a specific a stereotype Indian look. A lot of people don't even know if I'm from India. So are you Brazilian? Are you from Puerto Rico? Are you, Yeah. So I can always get away with, so I've done different roles from different characters, and they don't know if I'm Indian, Pakistani, or from Egypt, It's...
Yeah, but that's really good, because you have a neutral foreign physique. So and that can help you out a lot. But it is important to be very skilled in something, or in many little things, because that's what's going to make you very different from other actors and give you more possibilities to be able to work.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, language, I always say English is a must, because it's not a matter of just working in Spain, but working out of Spain.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Which film director would you like to work with, and why?
Well,
who's your favorite? Who's your favorite?
I don't know. I mean, there are a lot of directors, that do all kinds of, films. I mean, perhaps Tarantino. Yeah.
You like
because not only, well, yeah, Tarantino, and also Guy Ritchie.
Okay.
Because I like Guy Ritchie's style of films, and especially the kind of addition of the film when he finishes that kind of when they push someone and it goes push, but the same scene shot in different camera shots. But there are, there's lots of directors that you say, well, it depends on the genre.
Why Quentin Tarantino?
Well, Quentin Tarantino, when he started working back in, it took him some time ago, when Pulp Fiction came out, he started to revive kind of actors that had been around and got lost, and so he really picked them up and give them that boom again. David Carradine in Kill Bill.
Yeah.
And so he does that, and something about his style of films that not only the blood and gory, that kind of stuff, but I've always liked his kind of films, and why not, But there's lots of directors, you'd say I'd be happy to do work with Spielberg, Christopher Nolan, so. The big hot shot directors, you're going to get big hot shot roles, Well, I suppose. No?
Okay, I'm going to put you in a little situation now. Because every time I ask this, everyone always talks about directors. Okay, How about women director?
Women directors. Well, there's one woman director I'm trying to get hold of. Her name is Gurinder Chadha. And she's based in a little town right next to where my mum lives in London. And she did Bend It Like Beckham.
Okay.
And the what was the name of the Viceroy of India, I think. and she you know she started off as well, you know, did a bit of film production, etc., and then look, you know, where she is now. She's become an OBE, organizer of British Empire. And I'd like to work, you know, if I can get hold of her and say, look, you know, I'm an actor and I'm here and I want to do something with you, you know. And yeah, I'd like to work with her. Like, not that I'm, you know, I'm kind of know about all her films, but you know, it's something that I like to do. We work with an Indian director who I know of. I don't actually know her, but I know of, and do something with her. Grinda Chadha, her name is.
Well, you'll send that to me afterwards. How about a Spanish woman director?
Isabel Couchet.
I knew it. That's why I asked you.
You're never going to say that, no? Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
That's why I asked you.
Mm-hmm. She lives not far from here, you know. So like 30 minutes on the train from me. Yeah, we did. I was cast. Well, I had a casting with one called It Never Snows, or It Snows in Benidorm, her latest film. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the funny thing was they were asking, it was really strange. So, you know, you which nationality? And I said British. He said only British. I said yeah. He said yeah. What's the issue with Brexit? I said don't worry about that. I have residency. And the producer was a bit concerned about that, whether I was allowed to work on the film or not. So I don't know. I never got the role anyway. So
I mean, you live in Spain. You've been living in Spain for what? How many years now?
30.
So if you didn't,
but I still have a British nationality, and they were probably concerned. Maybe the producer was a bit worried about, you know, like work permits and all kind of stuff. I said I've been here 30 years, so you know I've got residency here, and I can work on, you know, I'm on some. I've done a lot of work. I'm on the payroll in companies, a big deal. But I don't know.
But it is true that as of, you know, in the near future with the Brexit, I mean, it's going to be what, about next year. Even if you've been living in Spain for the past 30 years, but obviously you've been living as a European citizen, what's going to happen with people like you? Are you going to have to request a special residency that allows you to work, or what?
Well, I'm hoping that the government makes a deal with the Spanish government makes a deal with the British government to give people dual nationalities. If you've been living here, you know, have dual nationality. I mean, at the moment, you know, I could have had Spanish, but I had to renounce my British. Yeah. And I thought, well, I've got British identity.
Yeah, because there's no agreement between Spain and the UK.
Well, they're doing this agreement already with France, so
yeah,
I think England will follow suit, I suppose.
So we'll have to hope for the best, really.
Excuse me.
So, any upcoming projects that you can talk about? We have 5 minutes left. So,
well, I did a self tape for a commercial. It's for Seat cars. I don't know, you know, commercials. I'm not a great fan of commercials, but you know, it's work, and if you get it, why not? You know. Regarding any TV series or films, I'm hoping to get a casting for El Cid.
Oh.
Right. Okay. And it's by a producer called Zebra. Yeah. They're based in Madrid, and they're shooting it's for it's for Amazon Prime, and they are doing this.
But you know the producer, Zebra Producciones, they are the ones who produced Centro Médico.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right.
Just in case you didn't know.
No.
Okay. Well, now you know.
So I was trying to locate the casting director.
Okay.
And I can't seem to find out who it is. And I mean, on the IMDb, it just said the extras casting director. Yeah. So what I did, I just sent my material to the actual producer. Let's see if there's a rebound on this, you know. So there are a lot of roles there, and a lot of people, you know. El Cid is the history of the 800 years ago when the Muslims were here. There's that kind of Catholic-Muslim conflict. So there'll be a lot of roles of like Arab people, and I think I can easily fit in
I think I might be able to help you out with that.
Really?
Who the casting director is. I think I might. I'll ask mine and then I'll tell you. Okay.
So I'm hoping that something comes up from that, and also, you know, that in Madrid they're great. They're building the new Netflix studios.
Yeah.
So they will probably do a lot of filming of different series, Netflix series here, and for Europe. So, you know, according to one of my casting directors I did a course with, she said a lot of work will come up next year.
True.
And said because everything's been a bit stagnated from the virus thing, the COVID virus. So hopefully a lot of work will come up.
And hopefully, as they have been saying, since there has been a stop and all of a sudden all these productions are going to be coming out, most actors that usually work will not be able to do all of them, and that will be an opportunity for those who don't work that much. So I'm sorry to say that we have a minute, less than 2 minutes left. So would you like to just say goodbye to everyone, or would you like there's one thing that I am saying now, is that now that everyone knows you, we will come back another day whenever my calendar allows me, just for Q&A. Okay, you will tell us how everything went, and then we'll just let everyone ask you questions. So it'll be, because we only have an hour with IG, so that's not possible, and I prefer to give you, ask you all the questions. So I would love just to tell you that it's been a pleasure having you this afternoon and having you share your experiences with us.
Pleasure is mine.
I also wish to thank you all for being there, and I will put Brady's Instagram and stuff on the video, and just let you know that our next guest for next Tuesday is the international actress Corina Sater, so don't miss her. Please be responsible and stay safe, and don't forget to wear your mask, please. And
I have my mask always.
Thank you all. Thank you, Brady, and we shall be speaking soon. Okay?
Okay. Thank you, Yassmine, for allowing this is wonderful experience. I enjoyed it. Thank you very much. And thank you all for listening. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Stay safe.
Bye-bye.